Good afternoon. My name is Jody Jensen. I'm a professor in kinesiology and health education in the College of Education. It is my service this year as chair of the Faculty Council that gives me the honor of introducing President Gregory L. Fenves, the 29th President of the University of Texas. I welcome you to the President's State of the University address, and I invite you to remain after his talk. There will be a reception in the lobby following his talk so that you might visit with him. A year ago, President Fenves delivered his inaugural address. Events and accomplishments of the past year have already showcased his vision, highlighted his strength of leadership, and tapped the depths of his compassion. His first year was busy. Dell Medical School has welcomed its inaugural class, a venture that he guided as provost. As the institutional leader, Dr. Fenves was challenged with walking the difficult path of guiding the university into compliance with SB 11 while being personally opposed to guns on campus. He continued the work of his predecessors in prioritizing a holistic approach to admissions, which has been upheld by the Supreme Court. And he spoke for all of us in expressing the pain and devastation of a campus shaken by the violent loss of life of Haruka Weezer. He spoke for many of us as well in the Tower Garden rededication ceremony commemorating the 50th anniversary of the August 1st, 1966 shooting tragedy on campus. And in that reminded us all that our character as individuals and as a community is strengthened by overcoming loss and adversity. So many events seem to overshadow the president's educational agenda, yet he found ways to move forward on this as well. President Fenves has long been an advocate for the redesign of undergraduate education. Research is not to be the exclusive domain of the graduate student, and Dr. Fenves has charged the faculty with enriching the undergraduate experience of intellectual inquiry through the process of research. He holds high our obligation as a flagship university to be a world leader in cutting-edge research, new technologies, cultural understanding, and social leadership. To this end, he has prioritized enhancing our research infrastructure and placed emphasis on recruiting and supporting the leaders in the sciences, humanities, social sciences, and the arts so that we may mentor and empower the thought leaders of future generations. This is a brief and incomplete litany of the past single year, President Fenves' first year as president. With you, I look forward to his address today as he continues to articulate his vision for the university. It has been my pleasure to work with President Fenves as a partner in shared faculty governance and to follow his leadership as a faculty member of the University of Texas. Please welcome President Greg Fenves.
Well, thank you, Jody, for your generous introduction. It's been my honor to work with you and the Faculty Council during my first year as president. We've already achieved much together. The Council and the 3,000 faculty you represent are at the center of our shared aspirations for the University of Texas at Austin. I'm pleased to be joined by leaders with whom I serve the university. The Chancellor, Bill McRaven. Give him. The Chairman of the UT System Board of Regents, Paul Foster. And Vice Chairman, Steve Hicks. And we also have our outstanding deans and vice presidents. In recent months, the university has welcomed 3 new deans and 5 new vice presidents who bring a diverse range of experience and expertise as we usher in a new era for UT. And I'm glad to see so many staff members, and thank you for being here. This wonderful event today would not have happened without you, nor would any of our other accomplishments. Your dedication day and night make this vast campus dynamic, beautiful, and safe, and I appreciate all that you do. And I see some students here. I welcome you. Each of you brings unique talents to UT, along with the commitment, ambition, and curiosity inside and outside of the classroom. Many Longhorn alumni are here also. And from traveling across Texas, the nation, and the world, I've seen firsthand the love and the loyalty that alumni have for the 40 acres. Texas Exes are fervent ambassadors for this great university. As a community, we have a commitment to respect one another and value different ideas. I am proud of our students, our faculty, and our staff, as we have met many challenges by listening to and learning from one another. Even on Campus Cary, where many passionately disagree, we have had an open and constructive debate where all voices were heard. I thank you for that. As we begin the new year, there's tremendous optimism, especially for Longhorn football. I am very proud of our coach, Charlie Strong, his staff, and the student athletes, not because of their huge wins over UTEP and Notre Dame, but because Longhorn football is dedicated to winning the right way. And I told Coach Strong I look forward to returning to Cal this weekend. 140 years ago, the people of Texas laid out their will in the state constitution that this be a university of the first class. We are the flagship University of Texas with a proud history. UT's alumni, research, scholarship, and service have contributed to enormous progress, from the shale revolution that redefined energy production to the technology innovations that launched the high-tech industry in Central Texas, to the cultural treasures of our priceless collections that attract scholars from around the world. Our university and our people have served as the intellectual center of Texas. UT's impact on Texas is unparalleled. We receive the most federal research funds of any Texas university. In 2016, we will graduate more than 10,000 students with bachelor's degrees, the highest number in the university's history. And this August, we welcomed 8,700 freshmen into the class of 2020, another record for UT. The University of Texas has no match within our state and few peers beyond our borders. Just look at some of our recent achievements. UT researchers have engineered an FDA-approved drug to treat and prevent anthrax. NSF granted $30 million to develop Stampede 2, keeping the Texas Advanced Computing Center at the forefront of scientific and engineering computation. A liberal arts professor's scholarship has led to an important exhibit chronicling racial tensions along the U.S.-Mexico border a century ago that provides vital lessons for today. UT researchers helped solve the cold case of Lucy, shedding new light on human evolution, concluding that Lucy spent time in a tree and died falling from its branches. And just this past Sunday, as Jody mentioned, the Dell Medical School bestowed white coats on the 50 medical students in the inaugural class of the first new medical school at an AAU university in nearly 50 years. These are just a few examples of the relentless pursuit of possibility as we unleash the enormous potential of students and scholars to change the world. But even the best can do better. Governor Greg Abbott, a tremendous supporter of higher education, who will be recognized next month as a distinguished alumnus of the University of Texas, said about our university, "Great is not good enough." My purpose today is to chart a path where the University of Texas sets the standard among public universities in education and research. To reach that goal, we must prepare students to be successful leaders, conduct research with unprecedented global impact and influence, transform the healthcare system, and nurture a campus culture where every voice is heard and valued. America is a nation that believes opportunity is the right of everyone, regardless of income, race, ethnicity, or origin. High-quality education is the gateway to opportunity, and our unique role at the University of Texas is to educate the leaders of tomorrow. A UT education allows the sons and daughters of sales clerks and factory workers to one day own the store run the plant, build the next generation of businesses, or lead in a profession or the arts. For students to obtain such an outstanding education, it must be accessible and affordable, no matter their personal and family circumstances. College affordability is a shared responsibility of the university and the state. We know a degree from the University of Texas is one of the best values in America in terms of cost, quality, and benefit. We are dedicated to keeping UT affordable and accessible. UT students from families with annual income under $60,000, which is more than the median family income in Texas, typically pay no tuition after grants and scholarships. Yet many other families struggle to pay tuition and often do not qualify for state or federal grants. So I am announcing today an additional commitment of $15 million in financial aid over the next 2 years for students from middle-income families. For families with incomes starting at $60,000, their students will be eligible for these new grants beginning in the fall of 2017. And I look forward to working with the Texas legislature to continue to provide financial aid for students for whom college education would otherwise be out of reach. Now, once students arrive on the 40 acres, we want them to succeed. Thanks to the dedication of many of you here today, UT is a national leader in new strategies and tools to help all students not only graduate, but graduate on time. At UT, more students from every socioeconomic category are staying in school longer than ever before. In a state where half the students who enter college don't graduate, we can be proud that at UT, more than 80% of our students finish their degrees here. And for the first time, more than 60% of the class of 2016 graduated in 4 years, a giant step towards 70% students earning bachelor's degrees in 4 years. We not only want more students to graduate on time, but to participate in innovative degree programs that reflect both the timeless nature of knowledge and the fast-changing pace of the world. By 2021, we want the majority of our students to enroll in degree programs at UT that incorporate the most effective approaches to classroom instruction, leverage the potential of technology to enhance learning, and focus more time and resources on the unique learning experiences that distinguish undergraduate education at a leading research university. In January, we launched Project 2021, led by psychology professor Jamie Pennebaker, to support faculty, the departments, and the colleges in developing bold curriculum redesigns. As just one example, the government department and the LBJ School have already developed a course in the Innovations for Peace and Development Lab, where students have their credits broken into an hour each for classroom learning, research, and internships. Students in this course have won prestigious research awards, presented at international conferences, conducted field work in Africa and Asia, and begun careers at the White House Council of Economic Advisors and the Federal Reserve Bank. Our commitment to education, which begins even before our students enroll, must continue as they prepare for the workforce. So I'm announcing today that we will expand our career services for new graduates and recent alumni. The goal will be to connect UT students with internship, job, and alumni network opportunities that both develop and benefit from their unique talents. Now, the strength of the university depends on our excellent and diverse faculty. UT has a truly distinguished and dedicated faculty who inspire students, who conduct groundbreaking research and scholarship, and who spur innovation. In my inaugural speech last year, I said that the toughest questions facing humanity and the world cross the boundaries of existing knowledge, and that we must take an interdisciplinary approach to address them. Achieving excellence in the disciplines means we must collaborate across disciplines. Breakthroughs happen when we break down the silos of knowledge. And we are doing that now. We are on the cusp of unleashing our potential in many fields, developing new sciences, advancing our understanding of societies and culture, gaining new insights from history, literature, and the arts, and nurturing thoughtful and ethical leaders. The Dell Medical School is an excellent example in many ways of crossing disciplines. For example, the Texas Health Catalyst, launched last year, draws support from the schools of medicine, engineering, natural sciences, pharmacy, and the Office of Technology Commercialization to accelerate translational research for value-based health products. We are also crossing disciplines through the creation of what we call pop-up collaborations. These bring together experts in different fields to address specific challenges in a short time frame. We have already established pop-up collaborations to better understand individual and population variations in biology, medicine, and society, to study the impact of discrimination in creating health disparities, and to build a digital humanities ecosystem for research in the liberal arts. To move us forward, Provost Maury McInnes and Vice President for Research Dan Jaffe are creating a new initiative for faculty and researchers to collaborate on answers to the tough questions. We call it Bridging Barriers. This interdisciplinary effort will be driven by our faculty and research scientists who will tackle some of the hardest questions in the natural and the human-made worlds and the world of ideas. UT scholars will develop areas of study through proposals, in-depth interviews, and small group discussions to generate the ideas. And to support Bridging Barriers and advance our research mission, we will make substantial investments by adding 50 new faculty positions over the next several years. That spirit of discovery recognizes no borders. As the flagship University of Texas, we must have a global vision. This year, I led a delegation of more than 40, including faculty, researchers, and deans, to a familiar place from my youth, Mexico City. In the 1960s, I spent several summers there when my father taught engineering courses at UNAM, La Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico. That early experience expanded my horizons and helped me appreciate that while cultures may be different, there are connections across them. For example, our delegation in Mexico City saw a 16th century book preserved at the National Archives. It was handwritten by the Office of the King of Spain, and it contains the king's instructions to colonists for exploring the upper reaches of northern Mexico, what is now Texas. And just as that quest for knowledge transcends these borders, so do the obstacles posed by health, economic inequity, energy, and water needs, and injustice. The University of Texas is uniquely positioned to be a global leader in addressing those challenges. And I was struck by our pervasive influence when I traveled to Asia in June. In Shanghai, I met dozens of UT students studying at partner universities and doing internships with companies in China. These Longhorns have a global perspective and are prepared to lead in any region in the world. Why is this important? T.S. Eliot, some of whose papers are here in the Harry Ransom Center, said, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time." By collaborating with partners in Latin America, in Asia, in Europe, and around the globe, we will strengthen who we are and what we aspire to be, a university dedicated to knowledge and discovery throughout the world. Yes, we have ambitious goals, from transforming our curriculum to accelerating new knowledge to improving healthcare. Achieving these goals will require support from policymakers, our benefactors, industry partners, and alumni. And on the campus, we must be willing to make hard choices, spend resources wisely, and be accountable to the taxpayers of Texas and to the parents and students who pay tuition. So this year, I will work closely with our Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, Darrell Bezell, the Provost, and campus leaders to spend our resources even more effectively to educate our students and advance our academic mission. Excellence depends on fostering a culture on campus that includes all students and that has diversity and inclusion as top priorities. And let me say that again. Diversity and inclusion will always be among my top priorities. The essence of a UT education lies in learning in a community where every student knows they belong, where their voice is heard, and where their experience is valued. A great university must push us to examine beliefs, even those we hold closely. The songwriter Ani DeFranco said, "I know there is strength in the differences between us. I know there is comfort where we overlap." And we strive every day to promote a culture that welcomes the differences and the expression of those differences while nurturing the commonalities that bond us together. And we have been recognized as a national leader, just one of 10 American universities honored as a diversity champion by Insight into Diversity magazine. The University of Texas won a crucial victory when the United States Supreme Court upheld our admissions policies after 8 years of litigation. What were we defending? It is this: we educate our students for leadership in a complex and interconnected world. Preparing leaders means providing the opportunity to learn with and from a wide range of people, to be exposed to diversity in its many forms, race and ethnicity, thought and religious beliefs, and different family backgrounds and life stories. We will not rest with a single Supreme Court ruling. Vice President for Diversity and Community Engagement, Greg Vincent, and Vice President for Student Affairs, Soncia Reagans-Lilly, this summer began developing a campus-wide diversity action plan. Collaborating with them and with our students, we will complete and implement the action plan. It will clearly define the needs for improving diversity and inclusion, identify the shortcomings, and chart a course for advancing our values. We will examine ongoing efforts to increase inclusion for underrepresented and traditionally underserved members of the university, and develop new ways to improve success for students, our faculty and staff from all backgrounds. From recruiting diverse students more effectively, to responding to hate incidents more quickly, to ensuring that underserved students have access to appropriate counseling, transportation, and other services, we must take action. Diversity cannot just be measured in numbers, but in assuring that every student has access to all aspects of high-quality college education, both on and off the campus. While we have made progress in overcoming the legacy of past injustices, our efforts must not wane as a society or as a university. It is the unique role of a university to illuminate past chapters of our story, to inform the present, and guide us in the future. Our students and graduates will lead the way. And I was reminded of that last December, standing on the steps of the Supreme Court under the inscription, "Equal Justice Under Law." I watched Crystal Nora, an outstanding student award winner, speak with conviction about her experience at UT. We are not only educating individuals, we are preparing leaders like Crystal who will make an indelible imprint on the world. We see this in business, film, media, and the arts, and in the Longhorn sprinters, shot putters, swimmers, and one outstanding jump shooter who achieved Olympic gold in Rio. We see it in the form of new ideas, including an app designed by a Texas alumnus that enables people to go on virtual treasure hunts around the world, Pokemon Go. The journey at the University of Texas is limitless when we foster a climate that brings out the best of every one of those students. And another responsibility we must meet is for every student, faculty member, and staff member to feel safe on this campus. We experienced a tragedy earlier this year. One of our students fell victim to a senseless crime, Haruka Weiser. Her death shook the foundation of everything we expect, a campus where any family can send their loved one without fear of harm. Haruka spent much of her short time in this building, and she was preparing for a performance on the stage the evening she was killed. In her memory, we have joined with the Weiser family to create a campaign, Walk With Me, that empowers students to look out for one another. And as I said in a message last month, we will improve campus safety and security. We will be hiring additional police officers and guards, upgrading the lighting and video monitoring on campus, improve building access controls, and engage with the community to address concerns about transient individuals on and around the campus. We will also strengthen our education and Title IX programs to put a stop to sexual assault, harassment, and misconduct. Unfortunately, UT is not immune from this grave national problem. We must recognize the problem and make this a university where we do everything we can to prevent sexual assault, harassment, and misconduct, where everyone is empowered to report it, and where survivors are confident that the university takes them seriously, investigates expeditiously, has due process, and disciplines offenders, whether they are student, faculty, or staff. We can reach our goals when we are joined by our common values and aspirations. I ask each of you to come with me on this journey as we elevate the University of Texas at Austin's role as a world leader in research and education. Some will measure excellence in terms of rankings and dollars. They are important, but the ultimate measure of success is preparing leaders, transforming society, and creating a better world. We are limited only by the scope of our vision and the Texas size of our ambitions. We are the flagship university for the world's 12th largest economy. We are uniquely positioned by the blessings of our scale, our resources, and our pioneering spirit to drive change and accelerate the pace of progress. When we invest in our people, when we break down the barriers, when we pursue knowledge, when we invigorate our culture with a shared purpose, we will chart a bold course and a legacy of achievement that exceeds the most glorious days. Now is the time for us to work together through a commitment to scholarship and discovery, to solve the great challenges, to reach new heights, and to change the world. Thank you, and hook 'em horns.